Alright guys, we're back with Levi in Yakima, Washington. How's it going, Levi?
It's going.
How old are you?
I think I'm 38, 39.
38?
I don't even know.
Not too sure, huh?
I was born in 85.
85.
I'll say that. I know it's kind of, it's pretty lame. I don't know that, but that's the truth. It's been a while since I've had a birthday that I've celebrated and kind of, yeah.
Are you from Yakima?
No, I'm actually from the other side of the mountains over in Kitsap County.
What brought you from that area this way?
About 2.5 years ago, I came over to help an ex-girlfriend of mine that was living in White Swan work on a barn they had that wasn't going to make it through another winter.
Uh-huh.
And so I went over there and did that, and that was on 80 acres of horse. And it was actually a goat farm mostly. This lady raised and sold goats. And it just turned into kind of a nightmare. She being an ex, she's an on and off ex for like 12 years, so it's
oh wow. But at the time she was your girlfriend at the time?
No.
Oh, at the time.
She was, yeah, still an ex, but there's always that yeah, it turned into not a good deal at all, basically. Same reason she's an ex is the reason. I mean, it's the same, dealing with the same stuff. But mostly the helper at that place that the lady had a stroke and couldn't make it back. And so then I fell in the position of now having to take care of all these animals, which I never planned on, and then had to stay through the winter.
Yeah.
Because of that, and it took a good year to get out of that situation. Yeah, in which my work van I had that I drove over here with was the fuel pump went out in it, and that was in Toppenish, and while I was fixing that got stolen from there. And then I chased it down to Union Gap, where
Your vehicle?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. My vehicle, which had all my tools and everything else in it. And then I never did get that back fully, and that ended up disappearing.
So that's what brought you to Union Gap, was your vehicle being stolen?
Yeah.
And then at that point, did you stop talking to your ex-girlfriend, or what happened?
Well, yeah, she kind of just bailed out on me. Did me pretty dirty on that, and it's a really sucky deal on that, because it there's a really sad ending on that deal, where I really needed her, was counting on her to at least, even help me get back home. But I think just because the things that she had done and had done me so wrong, it kind of just really was a deal where she just couldn't man up basically and come and help me. Instead, she took the really lame route. But yeah, other than that, I met a lot of people along the way and been in a lot of situations to where it hasn't been so bad. It's always been kind of like a little fresh start on some things. But
so that's pretty much when you started being homeless, was when that situation went downhill, right, with your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
So how long has it been that you've been out here in the struggle on the streets?
It's been about 1.5 years now, probably.
And what have you experienced during that 1.5 years?
Everything you can imagine. Where I've been out of prison for about 14 years now, and stayed out of trouble, the whole time. And but I've been off and on homeless since then. Even over in Bremerton, where I'm from, before I came over here, I was pretty much my work van I was living out of also, with my dogs and everything. So it's a major difference between this, living on with, this style, or if you got a vehicle or something staying out of the elements is a major difference. And I've always had that for the most part. It wasn't until over here in Yakima in Toppenish that I was really on the streets on the grind, and that's a wow.
And have you had to turn to doing any substances while being out in the streets?
What are you talking, like drugs?
Like drugs, yeah.
Yeah, it's been an off and on struggle with that,
What kind of drugs?
There's always the meth. It's always there, and of course there's the blue pills that everybody does.
How does meth and the blues differ in how it makes you feel when you're on them?
Well, one, you see most people turn into the zombies.
And that's from which one? From the blues?
From the blues, yeah. That and then especially if they drink with it or wherever else they mix, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that's a high people like to get and turn into that. Anytime when I've used, it's more to try to be productive or to. Really, during the winter, it was to get through the cold months because being out here on the streets through this winter was freaking.
It was rough, huh?
I'm
surprised I actually didn't meet you in the winter time.
A lot of people. I pretty much been in Union Gap and out on the Greenway, on the river.
Okay. You've been at the river?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we just lost pretty much a lot of when it flooded here recently.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually went to go look for somebody over there, and their spot was completely flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the river, for sure.
Yep.
Have you ever overdosed before?
Yes, I have.
What happened, and how many times?
Just the one time. That was before I even came over here on the side of the mountains.
Okay.
It was when I actually was given a Percocet. I thought it was a Percocet. I was told I had one of those fetal positions, knockout like toothaches, just. And I got high before that. I used, but I was given that, and I was told it was just a Percocet at the time.
Yeah.
And then when I took it, it was a few years later. It was a full pill of fentanyl.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that was a real scary deal there because it was to be awake and suffocating and not being able to breathe, but be awake for the whole part of that.
Sure.
I can't even explain it really. It was just like every time I exhaled, it was like somebody squeezed tighter, like get less air in every time I inhaled and exhaled, and then until I woke up in the ambulance and then died 2 more times in the ambulance ride. And
what did you overdose on?
It was fentanyl. It was the full fentanyl pill. That's when they.
That's right. You did say that. That's right.
Yeah. Nobody had really seen them yet. They were just coming around, and that was the first time I'd ever even seen or heard of them either.
So tell me this, man. Since you've gotten to experience how it is over there on this side of the mountains, how would you compare homelessness over there and over here? And the drug epidemic over there and over here in Seattle, Bremerton versus Yakima.
Well, Yakima is a whole different breed as far as it's sad. It's really shitty to see, no matter what, that the homeless when they don't, instead of coming together, and like uniting and trying to actually do better or even just do right, they just attack each other, and steal from each other, and just it's like keep each other down. And the worst part is it's like no matter how much good certain ones of us do out here, as far as like picking up other people's garbage or picking up trying to have a different face value for us to the public, it's going to be way almost impossible from just the way everybody is to change the public's view on us. And that's the biggest thing. And but after a while of the even on this side of the mountains and here, I've always had my dogs, especially. I've always had a black lab and my German Shepherd, and that's kind of like Andy over here, and his dog. It's a real easy distinguishing. When you see that one or the other, and
where are your dogs?
Well, I had to put my black lab down. I'm pretty sure he got poisoned over there, but he was getting pretty old. He was only 11, but he got real sick and just wouldn't eat, and I ended up having to put him down. And my German Shepherd here, right when they stole my Workman, they also stole my Shepherd and her 8 puppies that were 5 weeks old.
Wow.
Yeah, and so then I was without my dogs, and
So I know you mentioned that you went to prison before for quite a long time. What'd you go to prison
No,
for?
no, I've been out for a long time. I was only in prison for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
What did you go to prison for?
Well, that was another just lame deal too. Actually, I got a Bird 2 charge for attempting to turn on a hot water heater for this chick in her apartment.
Yeah.
Or her rental. Actually, it was because she wasn't gonna pay her rent because the stairs were broke that her kids were falling through, whatever, and so the landlord turned off the water. And my dumb ass, I'll turn on the hot water heater for you, whatever. Well, the landlord lived on the other side of the duplex. Come to find out where the water heater was. So as soon as I went down there and turned it on, it just. So yeah, I got a Bird 2 charge out of that, and took drug court, and they threw me out right away at drug court because I was in treatment and talking to the girls, and they passed me a note, and so they kicked me out and said, "Well, you're not drug court quality," and it gave me 24 months, just like that.
Do you have any children?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
That's good that you don't have children out here in the struggle. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. I really feel for that. I do.
With that, what message do you have for family or friends if they end up seeing this video?
I'm sorry I'm not a part of all their lives, really. I mean, I do the best I can. I mean, they know that. I'm not. It's not hopeless. I'm still trying to get back, back home to everybody. And that's still my goal. And I do plan on obtaining that. And I will.
What message do you have for the youth about homelessness?
To the youth, I'd say, God bless all you youngsters that, come up to us and, are very nice to us and, are very, it's so funny because, like, I say to people all the time, it's, the difference is just a smile from anybody. That's night and day for us, just a simple look or a simple smile is something, that is so encouraging or can kill you, and so the youngsters and especially the little ones that come up and don't see us as homeless, it's really cool. Like,
right? That you know what? That's a true statement that I've never thought about. Children have more connection to homeless people than average people.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I never thought about that, but you're right. Would you be okay with doing a follow-up interview in the future?
Yeah.
And would you be okay with me posting this on my YouTube channel?
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Levi.
Yeah.